Hello. Many of you know me from my work at Blessed Sacrament Cathedral. My name is Katie Zuzik and I'm the Pastoral Associate here. I will be offering the third reflection for our Advent series. So this weekend is Gaudete Sunday, the week when we light the rose candle, our rose candle that signifies joy. Why celebrate joy in a subdued time like Advent? We celebrate with joy this weekend for several reasons. Simply put, we celebrate that we are almost through the season of Advent and that much closer to the Nativity of the Lord. And recognizing that we are close to the Nativity of the Lord reminds us of the joy we have in the coming of the Lord. The word Gaudete means rejoice. And this Sunday gets its name in part from the entrance antiphon for the day, which starts, "Rejoice in the Lord always." I say again, rejoice. In the middle of this quiet, introspective waiting, we have a time of rejoicing in this season of Advent. This time of rejoicing comes at the darkest nights of the year. In this year in particular, this Sunday of rejoicing comes in the middle of some of the most difficult times for some of us. Some of us who are worried and anxious, worried about family, friends, co-workers who might be sick, mourning the loss of someone we hold dear, worried about employment, anxious for our children and their education, anxious about having enough food for our tables and keeping a roof over our heads. So this is a difficult year and time. So it might seem a bit odd to rejoice. But there is wisdom in this. When we celebrate Good Friday in the season of Lent, we do so today as a people who know and anticipate Easter Sunday and the joy that that brings. As Catholics, we are always searching for the light in the darkness. And there is always a light in the darkness, because that light is God, the love of God, who is Jesus Christ. And that light is indeed always with us. So we take a moment in this time of preparation for joy and rejoicing. Our readings today provide the framework for us. So our readings today from Isaiah, the Magnificat text from Luke, and 1 Thessalonians are among my favorite readings for the church year because they offer us so much hope. And they, taken with our gospel readings from John, point to the coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, which is the reason for our joy. Isaiah tells us what to expect from the Messiah, just what the Messiah will be like and what the Messiah will do. God will send us a Messiah who will bring us good tidings to the poor, heal those who are brokenhearted, and will set captives free. In the wonder of the incarnation and the cross and resurrection, Jesus Christ came to redeem all humanity, to bind up and join together all that has been broken among us. Our psalm today, taken from the Gospel of Luke, the Magnificat. This hymn rejoices in God for God's faithfulness to God's people. And this hymn rejoices in God's compassion and mercy. And compassion and mercy not just to any people. God has looked upon his lowly servant and does great things for the humble. Again, we learn that God is merciful and just here. In this beautiful hymn, we rejoice in the truth that we have a God who raises up those who are bowed down. In short, we have a God who loves us. To quote Shakespeare, "There art thou happy, a pack of blessings light upon thy back." So we pair this with our gospel reading from John. In this passage, we hear John the Baptist identifying himself. He is asked, "Who are you then?" He says of himself, "I am the voice of one crying out in the desert, make straight the way of the Lord." And he goes on to say that one is coming who is greater than he. This reading, like Isaiah, points to the coming of the Messiah, the source of our joy and rejoicing. We hear John the Baptist calling out to us still today in this time of darkness, "Make straight the way of the Lord. Be ready. Get prepared." For us today, We are not talking just about Christmas. We are talking about Christ coming again. And this time of preparation for the incarnation of Christ begs us to ask the question, am I ready? Am I ready not just for cookies and presents, but am I ready for Christ to come again? This upcoming birth of Christ in our liturgical year points to the Easter season and the resurrection of Christ, our salvation. So we might be tempted to ask ourselves just what we are preparing for in this season of Advent. We are preparing for Christ to be born in us, to be born again, to be renewed, preparing our hearts to receive the gift that is Jesus Christ, who is our salvation. And so John the Baptist tells us today, make straight the way of the Lord. Clear out our hearts of hatred and worry. Clear out the things that hold us back from truly knowing and trusting Jesus Christ. Make straight the way. Find a place within you for Jesus to dwell. And so I leave you today with the words of St. Paul, who tells us that as we wait, we should prepare ourselves. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. In all circumstances, give thanks. May the God of peace make you perfectly holy, and may you entirely, spirit, soul, and body, be preserved blamelessly for the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. The one who calls you is faithful, and he will accomplish it. And I'll say that last line again. The one who calls you is faithful, and he will accomplish it. And this, friends, is the source of our joy and our rejoicing in the middle of this dark time, in the middle of a season of quiet introspection. Thank you, and God bless you on this Gaudete Sunday.